Hey guys, this is Rosa Kelly. So a little time ago, I created this 6x7 mini album. So today we are going to be doing the part 2 and adding even more elements to this quick and easy little mini book. So if you missed the first part, which is putting this together from start to finish, I will have the video link below. And today we're going to continue adding more features to this book. Let's start with a walkthrough for this book. So as you open your book, this opens up to the side. We have a little flap. Then this opens here. The next page opens up and down, and then this opens down and up. And if you pull both, you have this really long display for your pictures. I do have some magnets, as you can see, and then this next page is flat. The back has this kind of like sideways waterfall, and this closes up like that. Then we have a double accordion fold, and over here we have a couple of flaps, and this page opens down and down again. And then over here this opens to the side. This one has a pocket, and then this next page just opens up and down like that, and then at the end another flap. So what I'm going to start doing is seeing these flat pages that just simply have one opening, and just add a little bit more to these type of pages here, like that one. And these type of pages that have like these double accordion folds, maybe we can add something more in the middle. I want this book at the end to be really chunky, and our spine here is 3.5 inches, so you can definitely expand a little bit more on this book, even as you add pictures. Okay, so let me grab my supplies here. So for this book, I'm going to be using heavyweight cardstock, but also a couple of pieces of lightweight 65-pound cardstock. So I just have here all my little scraps, so I'm going to be using that definitely. And then we have some heavyweight pages here. So I'm going to start with my heavyweight cardstock, and I'm going to cut these at 6 by 5.5. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 pieces of those, and then we're going to score at 1/2 inch along the 6 inches. Okay, so we are just going to score here 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch, and I'm going to fold along the score lines over here, and we are going to add this to one of my pages. So let me open that up, and I was thinking on putting that one on these double accordion folds, and then we can add one here along the top and the other one along the bottom, and then this becomes this sort of box page. So you can even put in things on the inside, like little photo mats or anything that you want to keep on your book, and they won't be falling out. So let's add this here along the top, and then we're going to add this one just down here on the same page. Okay, so let me line it up to the one on the top, so you might need to go more to the right. Let's close that just to make sure that we are even here. Okay, and then we're going to press down. Okay, so let me press down. So then this will open up, and this will open down, and again now you have this boxy type of page where you can put photo mats in there and just have everything tagged nice and safe in the center. So now I'm going to use my leftover little piece here, and we are going to cut this piece. I'm gonna do 6, let's do 7 actually. Okay, So 7, and this is by about 2.5. Okay, and we're going to score along the 7 inches at 1/2 inch and at 6.5. Okay, and then we're going to fold and fold here, and this is going to be a simple belly band. So let's go ahead and place that. I'm going to place this piece on this page. So this is the page that has the two opening, the two pages that open down. So I'm just going to place this at the bottom, but I'm going to, at the back page, but I'm going to place it a little bit higher here along the top. Maybe leave about 1/2 inch along the top. Okay, so we are going to add glue to this belly band piece, and again I'm just staying away from the top by about maybe 1/2 inch. Okay, and we're just gonna place these, press down and press down. There we go. You may say, why do we want a belly band here? Oops, let's make sure this is dry. So we're going to close these two sections, and I want this belly band so I can add another flap in there, or a movable piece. So let me cut a new page, and we are going to cut this one at 5 3/4. Okay, and this is going to be by 11, and I'm going to score along the 11 inches. Let's score at 5.5. Okay, and we are going to fold. And now this piece, it's going to go, whoops, let's grab this back here. So this piece is going to go on our belly band. So now we have these two flaps, and we're gonna add that on the belly band here. But this is going to also serve as a closure. So if you put these two back, then this can go right on top and keep those two sections down. And then you can probably add a magnet here and add a magnet there, and then this piece can be removable, and then you still have room here for pictures. And you can even use this belly band to add more photo mats as well. So that is going to be the second add-on that we are putting on this book. Now of course I want to do a pop-up, so I'm going to switch to my lightweight cardstock, and I'm just going to use a piece. This is going to be 6 by 8. So let me cut this here at 8, okay, and by 6, and we're going to score along the 8 inches. We're going to score at 2, 4, and 6, and along the 6 inches we're gonna score at 1.5, 3, and 4.5. And then we're going to cut out the rectangles that are on the corners. So we're just gonna take this section out. Okay, so now we're gonna take this one out, and take this out, and then last little piece right there. Okay, and then we are going to fold. So we're gonna hold this sideways. So this is the 8 inches and this is the 6 inches, and we're going to match the score line that is down the center here to the left side score line. So we're just gonna go like this. Okay, and once you have those two kind of aligned together, you're going to press down, and we're gonna do the same from the top to the other side. So we're just gonna line those right here. Once you see this line looking straight, we're gonna fold. And you have probably done this many times before, but I always like to just really explain. And then we're just gonna pinch the sides right here and kind of bring this together like that. And then you're gonna press down, and you're gonna end up with this little house shape little piece. It always does this, so we're just gonna make sure that those two are straight. And then I also like to cut just a little bit on the tip here on the top. Okay, so now we have the base for your pop-up page here. So now we're gonna put that to the side, and we are going to just use another piece of cardstock, and I'm just using some scraps, as you can see. So I'm going to cut these at 7, and this is by about 3.5. Okay, and I'm also using lightweight for this piece. Okay, and then I'm going to score along the 7 inches. We're going to score at half, then we're going to score at 3.5 and at 6.5, and we're going to fold on the half side. And then these 2.5 inches you want to fold on the score line, but you want to keep it flat. Okay, so fold on the score line but keep it flat, and then we're gonna hold this like that, and we're gonna glue this piece in between these two sections here. So it's gonna go right in between, and we're gonna add glue, but when you place this here, you don't want to cross this 1/2 inch score line. Okay, so you're gonna add glue on this side and on the back of the other section there, and then we're gonna place this piece right in between without crossing that 1/2 inch score line. Okay, so press down and make sure on both sides that you are not crossing that 1/2 inch score line. And there we go. That is going to be our pop-up. So now let's see where can we put that feature on this book. So you can do it on a page that opens up like that. So this will be a great page to add it. You could also place it, let's see, on this page here that opens to both sides. So you will add it on one of these sections here. We might have to cut it a little smaller, and or this page here as well. But I think I'm gonna put it on the very first page here. So that's gonna go right there. Now you do want to make sure that you are not crossing these, that this is not super long. I think this will fit perfect here because we have, it's gonna hang out a little bit off the page, but that's okay. So maybe we can, oh, excuse my voice, maybe we can just cut it a tiny bit more here because I don't want it hanging off the page too much, and that should be okay. All right, so all together I'm gonna tell you this whole piece measures about 6.5, so that way you know where I cut mine. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is just glue it here. So I'm going to add glue on the back. Okay, and you can add paper here if you want before you add this, but I like this kind of blending onto the page, so I just like to add it first, and then I'll add paper kind of covering these sections as well. Okay, so we're just gonna press down here. You want to make sure that you can still fold these, and now we're gonna add glue on the top. Okay, just on that base little section that looks like a house, and then we're gonna close this page. Okay, so as you can see, there's a little bit coming out just like that, and that is totally okay as long as you can still, you know, fold your pages and whatnot. So I'm just gonna give this another second to dry. So press down. Okay, and now when you open this up, if this is dry, it's going, oh, let's just give it another second here. Especially when you're working with wet glue, make sure that it's really dry before you open it. Okay, so we're gonna open this up, And you can see here, as you open the page, you have this pop-up coming towards you. You can see my glue is not fully dry, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more glue here because that didn't get to bond. So just a little glue, and then we're gonna close that, and I'm just gonna let this really dry. Okay, so now going through my pages, I think here we have a side pocket, and this is a perfect opportunity to add another dynamic feature here. So let's try. We're going to cut a piece. I'm gonna use my heavyweight here again, and just going to cut a piece that is going to be maybe 6 3/4 by 6 1/4, and we are going to score this at 1/2 inch along the 6 3/4. Okay, so we're just going to score right here, fold, and we are going to put this to the side. And then I'm just going to use this little leftover piece here, and this is about 4 1/4 ish. And we're gonna cut these. I'm gonna cut these at 6 inches. Okay, and we're gonna score at 1 inch along the 6 inches and fold along the score line. Now we are going to bring back our book, and the page that has that pocket on the side, we are going to add this piece right here on the left side. Okay, so make sure that you are not gluing on top of, there's a 1/2 inch score line to make the pages open and close flat, so make sure you're not gluing on that. So we are just gluing right next to that page, and we're going to add the glue here and place this piece right there. Okay, and then we're going to press down, open this up and press down. Now for our feature, I want these to kind of go inside the pockets, and so that way when you open it and close it, this page is going to be kind of like a bit of a interactive layout to put a little picture here. Maybe I made this a little too long, so I'm going to cut these. Let's take this out. I don't need this anymore. So instead of 6, I'm gonna reduce it to 5 1/2. Okay, and so all we're gonna do here for this page is we're gonna glue this 1 inch on this opening flap. Again, you can add paper here if you would like to do that first, but I'm just gonna go ahead and add these right on this flap. Place it right at the center. Okay, and then press down. Okay, so make sure that is glued, and then what we're gonna do is just simply tack these and make sure this is glued under your pocket, and there you go. That is all you're gonna do. Super simple. So then you're gonna close your page, and then when you open it, you're gonna have your pocket, but then you also have this little layout coming out, and if you have a picture, it just makes it a fun, you know, interactive, super easy page here. And so there you go. I hope that you guys enjoy this super quick video adding different elements to this mini album, and I hope that you guys enjoy kind of creating and having fun with paper. So super easy features that just makes your book a little more dynamic and fun. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.